Is creating paintings a joyful process? This was what I found myself reflecting on when I made this painting. I often think that to create work is an application of our soul's expression, and that journey isn't always a joyful or a peaceful one. Although joy and peace exist in the process, there is also pain and confusion and lots of questioning. And I'm going to take you along a little bit of this journey this week. You see, to paint is to bring something material from our abstract imagination. I have to be honest here and say that this does take a lot of energy to do that sometimes. Because doing a painting is like traveling to an unknown country, bursting with sensory stimulations, pushing the boundaries and meeting strangers and places. Most often, I don't think travelers also know what they want to find. They're on a quest. And for me, painting is like that. I push boundaries, I test my inner horizons, and I test the canvas. I fully trust that I may find something that I didn't know before.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret lies, like leaves that soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, self-touch your hand in mine, gets me every time.
This week, I challenged myself to begin a painting without starting with a reference image, and to experiment with spray paints, a medium I'd never worked with before. This was daunting. When I have a reference photo, there is a small sense of certainty and perhaps control. This way of painting is letting go of control itself. But here, I really had to lose control because I didn't know how the spray paint would act on the surface of the paper. I think I can imagine, but there is no way of knowing until the first spray. What would be the texture? Would the colors come out with full vibrancy? A deep breath. There is no turning back now. The sound soon came into a chaotic rhythm as I metaphorically tackled the sheet of paper. It was messy. It was a mess. The piece only lasted for a first few minutes when I saw the fluorescent pink glow in the sun against the shades of blues and greens. But the very few glimpses of beauty I saw was soon sabotaged by yours truly. I continued to gut punch the elegant mess with the ugly kind of mess. Drips of acrylic paint are smothered and brushed violently. Was I in a dance or a war? I wasn't quite sure. Every time I made something beautiful, I wanted to mess it up. And on it went for a long 45 minutes. My brain was tortured. "You're ruining it! What are you doing?" she screamed, but I didn't care. I was here to make a mess, it seems. I experimented with intricate to bigger pieces of stencils, only to find the stencils with intricate patterns were quite useless with spray paints. Towards the end, what consumed me to do this, I have no idea. But I took a great big dollop of black and blue mixed in, and I smothered it right into the middle of the paper. Splash, splash, swoosh. It's done. it's done? I'm often consumed by an unknown feeling when I paint. And with the reality settling in shortly after, I looked at what I created. In a central dark abyss, hues of glowing red and whimsical colors danced around the edges. But I couldn't see past this black mess I put right in the middle of the painting. Why did I ruin what would have been a perfectly peaceful painting? Sometimes, I think there is a part of us that knows before we do where life is supposed to take us. But I couldn't muster up any patience or trust to believe this part of me that made this mess could have been right. Later that evening, I showed my partner the mess I created. And I described to him that I want to paint what I see in this piece, but I couldn't see anything beyond this black central mess. And after listening, he described to me what he saw. I see trees, like a row of pine trees, on like a mountain, and this looks like the sun is about to set here. And for a brief few seconds, I was seeing the painting through his eyes. And he was right. There were trees, and there was a sun setting. But they were right at the bottom of the painting. What did it mean for the rest of it? It could be a landscape painting, he said. There are times when conversations are crucial in a painting process. This, for me, was one of them. No, I don't want a landscape painting, I replied. And standing there beside him in my own truth, I heard myself speak. I actually see lots of messy hair. That's the image that keeps running through my mind, just lots of messy hair. From that point on, I had some hints of a new beginning. I found an image source that would be the starting point for the next day. And for the next 2 days, this painting took every breath I had until its completion.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. over splinters of the moon.
Despite my mental and physical exhaustion after I finished the piece, I marvel at how this painting started to tell me a story. This story, though, wasn't told so much in symbology, but through expression and emotion that pierced right into my soul. I didn't quite grasp the power of portraits until now. I saw messy hair in the abstract mess. And from there, the story that unfolded was a female character that represented this identity of independence. The blue tints I had put in her hair, the hairpins that stick out from the side, the pink flush of blush on her cheeks and lips, the gaze in her eyes that draws me in. I poured so much of my energy into this painting. My metaphorical blood, sweat, and tears combined in layers of paints to give proportion and skin color right down into the depths of attention and quiet listening for the small intuition that told me what to put and where and how. But now, this girl that stands before me exists separately from me. Lately, I've been thinking what it means to be my own person. To gain a sense of independence and to give authority to myself instead of seeking outwards. And this girl with blue eyes and blue messy hair represent the person that I want to become more of. I didn't plan to paint her in this way. I wasn't even sure why and what I was painting until the very end. But at the end of the process, it was very clear to me, clearly written in the expression in her eyes, in the confident way she stared from the paper. I imagined that she could be like a main character from a book, that this painting could very well be a book cover. I imagined the stories that could be associated with the journeys that such a person takes. Because the very way she dressed and made herself up, the way she allowed her hair to be filled with ornaments but is still messy, is a human who can live a very interesting life. One that is unburdened by what anyone else would think about her actions. One who can stand behind her actions. One who isn't afraid to make mistakes. I think to be independent is messy. The messy journey of giving authority to yourself instead of to the voices around you sometimes feels like you have to make the right choice. But your honest path is one filled with both fortune and mistakes. And if we are filled with fear that we may not make these so-called right choices, then we may not even decide to walk at all. The girl in the portrait makes me feel alive and fearful at the same time. I almost feel like she's piercing into my soul and dragging out the parts of me that want to hide behind other people's decisions. All the stories I keep repeating to myself that is not useful anymore. Stories that doesn't serve me about the wider society, my culture and upbringing. Stories about my skin color and my heritage. It's almost like she's saying, who do you think you are by bringing so many things with you? Let go and dare to live the life you want. Close your eyes and your ears and dare to listen to what your heart is telling you. Break the rules and make your own. Just because some things have been done in certain ways before, doesn't mean you have to reinforce someone else's decisions and thinking. You are your own story. I had this feeling that my ability to do things independently was emerging. It was slow, but slowly, I could feel the expansion of my own internal language. I could feel myself breaking away from the stories that had once been my very ground. I could see them cracking so light can be pierced through the safety from which I lived. And it reminded me of watching precious moments in the sky. They were precious because sometimes early in the mornings, just as the sun is out, the moon is also still there. It always made me imagine that Mother Moon and Father Sun were still conversing in their brief meeting together. And so, above the sunset that my partner spoke so fondly about, I painted a crescent moon. And I wrote this poem. When you listen to an inner authority, you come to the time of day when the sun is just setting and he meets the moon, a singular shy she, the crescent, hovering between the land of the known and the land of mystery. In that brief burst of neon colors in the sky at dusk, you let go of all your perfections to meet the one who is rightfully yours. So today is finally here, and it's the day where I'm going to be taking off the green frog tape that's around the painting, and it's going to reveal the crisp edges. And this is my favorite part of painting because I don't know, there's just something about creating like these crisp edges that makes me feel like the painting has come to like a completion for lack of a better word. And I even, on these days, I kind of dress up for it. I like putting makeup on, and I like wearing something nicer than the sort of relaxed clothes that I usually wear when I'm painting. Anyway, let's get to it.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm lining up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand.